Great morning. Good morning, everybody, wherever you are in the world. I am so glad that we are here together this morning. What's going on, everybody? This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing. If you're new here, welcome. If you're watching this on the replay, I'm so happy that you're here with us. Everyone, what a beautiful morning to be together. I am grateful for each and every one of you. I am entirely grateful from each and every one of you. By the way, if you're new here and missed yesterday afternoon's update, the stock market melt-up ignited by the Federal Reserve's super easy monetary policy, that is epic conquering the markets. If you want to learn about the markets, if you want to see what we do here, this one is signal. This one is very important. Watch that in your free time today when you get the chance. What are we taking a look today? Bitcoin trading at $51,433. Back above 50,000. Let me zoom in a little bit. The trend line that we're watching over here, right? Has it been broken? It's been pierced a few times. Look at all these wicks below it. Now, you all know me with my trend lines, right? Now, look, let's be a little more precise over here. Do you see the wicks under my trend line? I'm focusing on this point and this point just to give you a little bit of clarity, a little bit of perspective. I'm just tagging them now, right? And then you can see that all the bodies held over here. That's all good and fine. It could have gone either way, and it still could. We still have over here, Gene pointed out over on Discord, we still have that little bit of resistance to get through before Bitcoin starts taking off to challenge the all-time highs and is back into price discovery. By the way, this is where we are right now since the halving. You're looking here at the first halving back in 2012, the second halving in 2016. This is what ignites the bull market run. And then we're looking at the last halving, the most recent halving, the one that we're currently in 2020, igniting this bull run. We were preemptive. We positioned ahead of the halving, knowing what was going to happen. My own brother, how is it possible to look at charts and say where they're going to be in the future? Here we are, though. We have 27 new all-time highs in this run. If you look at past bull market cycles, you could see this is just one factor of the many that we look at to show how early this current bull market cycle is. And it is still very early. And when I say how early, what I mean by that, and by the way, the reason I showed you that chart is because once we go back up, and soon we will be back up to new all-time highs. Now, I am not trying to tell you, I don't want the title to throw you off. The title is not clickbait. Clickbait. It's the truth. The bull of all bulls, Bitcoin, the bull of all bulls is getting ready to run. Now, whether or not that's going to happen right off of here, off of this resumption off the trend line, I have no idea. Within the next 30 days, give or take, absolutely. Absolutely. If we get above this trend line, Gene pointed out as resistance over here, it's clear skies. But until then, and right now, we continue to consolidate. That's where we are. Someone said earlier in the comments, thank you, Alan. Thank Alan. Alan's been on fire with the tweets. Alan's been on fire with the tweets. I've been liking them. So if you want to find Alan's Twitter, go find out what content I've been liking in the last 24 hours, and you'll be able to follow him. Heath just got monetized on Trade Talk. Big milestone. Big shout out to Heath and all the work that he provides. Everyone, big thumbs up and shout out to all of you. There's Gene. There's Gene in the trend line over there. That's clarity on Bitcoin. And so what's that? Is that the end of the show? We got an exciting show ahead of us. And most importantly, I'm just happy to share it with all of you. You know what? It's not as if we're just able to jump in and do what we do. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of commitment. It's true. We do this each and every day. Those that follow each and every day and invest their time are able to stay on the right side of the market. Not just Bitcoin, the markets, right? The markets. But it's an ever-evolving piece. It's an ever-evolving puzzle. And it's a question of making those observations as they happen and unfold and put them all together. That's why if you missed this video, this was signal. You need to watch this video from yesterday. Very important one. By the way, Bitcoin masterfully lightly leveraged. This does not tell you how to trade Bitcoin lightly leveraged. This shows you how I've been trading Bitcoin masterfully lightly leveraged. Every public, let's say, next move of Bitcoin being called out in advance, well ahead of the curve, watching it. You can see over here you have, this was shared by Plan B, total liquidations. This was just last week as Bitcoin came off 24%. We saw Bitcoin come off 24%. This is heartbreaking to see so many people, so many longs liquidated. How do you get liquidated in a bull market? The bull market phase. You have to have the awareness, first of all. That's why I refer to this chart so often with you. This is on Halvings Tracker. Just go over here to @Halvings Tracker on Twitter. This is why I'm showing you where we are so often. And we've been doing this since we were down here, since after the halving, right? As soon as they started showing these charts, I've been showing them with you. And now we're over here, and our eyes are over here. How do you get liquidated? You have to understand, if you are trading with leverage, experts only, you don't need to do it, and do not do it unless you're an expert. If you're going to do it, though, understand it. There is a tutorial. It was 3 or 4 weeks ago on our Conquering the Markets live trading session, right? Just go back to the CTM recommended playlist. You'll be able to find it. Watch that video. This is heartbreaking over here. What else? This is stock to flow. I don't follow stock to flow. I follow pretty charts. What I'm watching here is we're right on time. Do you imagine I remember looking back in February, looking at a chart of the world and envisioning what was going to happen with the spread of the pandemic. Always being able to be preemptive of, I don't want to say price trends, of data trends. And this is something we've done. We've looked at this chart back on the Bitcoin playlist on some of the earliest charts, talking about what was going to happen on this Bitcoin bull run. You can see that we're getting towards the outer, darker edge over here, right? As you get into the white edge, right? This is where we had the double pump in the first cycle over here, the double pump, the pi cycle igniting twice, pi cycle igniting here. You could see as we're getting close to there, that's a sign we're getting towards the top. It's just another piece of the puzzle. We put them all together. We keep watching so that we make sure that we're right on time and continue to be so. By the way, if you are watching this video, see, I don't do stuff like this ever, Alex. I don't ever do stuff like that. But I do tell you, Alex, your homework, go to the YouTube channel, watch this video. Watch this video. It's a short 25-minute video. It's exceptional. And it's going to show you this is not what we do or how we do it, but we do it better than anyone else. All right? We just don't throw numbers out there for the sake of throwing numbers out there or anything like that. And by the way, if you go down to 40,000, Alex, you're going much lower. If you trade down and take out that swing low over here, you're going much lower, right? What are you looking at on the downside? I just want everyone to be aware. A 30% drawdown at this point, that's taking us down to $40,000. Alex is looking for that $40,000. There's not much support there. There is big support over here, though, around 38,000. That will be a 34% drawdown. Be aware, if your liquidation level is above there or even close to there, you're doing it wrong. You're way too highly leveraged. It's lightly leveraged. By the way, what's a safe liquidation level? Do you think we're going to have a 50% drawdown, which would be the first time, right, that this bull market phase. Now, we did have during the first cycle when we had the double wave, by the way, when we had this double wave over here, this vertical move up. What it was caused by? Was it caused by all the ASICs going online? I'm not sure. Was it caused by the really low market cap? Now we have $1 trillion market cap. Was it caused by the low market cap and the ASICs coming online? I'm not sure. By the way, very important situational awareness. The time between here and here was 6 months. 6 months in the bull market, price went sideways, right? Now that was an anomaly. Why was it an anomaly? It was an anomaly because we had just broken the model to the upside. The model breaks to the upside here. The model breaks to the downside over here, right? This was during the dollar liquidity crisis. This dump was not supposed to happen. So the models break here to the upside, here to the downside. Will they break again? Absolutely. Will it be to the upside or to the downside? Who knows? Rest assured, we will be there. And as it's happening, we will have that laser focus, laser eyes focus. Can we get a like if you appreciate being here? Can I get a like if you enjoy the community? Can we get a smash of the like button if you learned something new this session? That's all we ask, right? Let's take it further. What are we looking at over here? Indexes, by the way, right? We were watching yesterday during the live stream talking about they're getting ready for their next leg up. Broke out. I didn't know that they were going to break out yesterday or anything like that. But we were setting it up and we were getting ready. They did break up. Look, we have the breakout coming in for the retest right now. conquering the markets all day long. Get ready. Nasdaq over here is cleaning pretty also. You can see it broke this shallow trend line, the sharp trend line I put in, coming in for the retest right now. But yields are rising, and that's hurting tech. All right. Dow looks beautiful, new all-time highs. And remember, it was earlier in this week, it was on Monday, when I was pointing out the indexes, and I was pointing out to you how this, out of all the indexes, was the most bullish because it was just consolidating sideways, as we saw the S&P going down, the Nasdaq consolidating to the downside. And when they popped yesterday, boom, it was the Dow. Russell, beautiful. Also, it has that same trajectory as the Nasdaq and the S&P did, the downward sloping. It also broke in, coming in for the retest right now. I said to you, it was just a question of when we're trading back at new all-time highs. It's going to happen. That signal, Powell ignited that signal yesterday when he talked about, listen, and the key was yesterday, the key takeaway yesterday, by the way, is the Fed is going to keep these ultra easy monetary policies, $1.4 trillion a year, $120 billion of QE purchases coming from the Federal Reserve monthly, $118 billion coming from the ECB monthly, $315 billion coming from the G10 monthly. They're going to keep that until we return to full employment. We're never returning to full employment. It's never going to happen. It's never, ever, ever going to happen. How is this going to end? I don't know. My eyes are on 2023 as the Fed is ready to launch the digital dollar, right? Because the Fed is, and Jerome was on Tuesday, he was very clear before the lawmakers, yep, now we're seriously considering the digital currency. Right. Huge on-ramps into Bitcoin. And once everyone understands, anyway, let's keep going over here. There we go. Alan, we got over here, Coinbase filed for their IPO, 43 million users, revenue topped 1.2 billion in 2020. Boom, getting ready to go. Now, Max Kaiser, and I do listen to what Max has to say. Why? Because he has a history of being right. Always listen to those who are right, not those who, after something's happening, jump on board, right? By the way, a lot of people still haven't jumped on board. We still got all of traditional finance, all guys and girls on the wrong side over here. Max said he felt like that as Coinbase launches their IPO, that could put some pressure on Bitcoin. I don't think so. We'll see what happens. Just be aware of that. The reason I say be aware, guy has a history of being on the right side. You just want to pay attention, right? Bitcoin liquidation is now it's above 17 for me. That's good. That's early. Oh, by the way, let me just thank you for the comment. Let me jump back over to Bitcoin over here, right? Liquidation level, right? So, if your liquidation level right now is 40,000, 30% away, that's too aggressive, right? I'm saying to you, be aware. If we take out that swing low right over here around 44,700, at that point, you might see a move down into the support, $37,000. That would be a 34% pullback, $38,000. Should your liquidation be leveled there? It's so aggressive. So you saw what happened on Kraken, by the way. You want to play it safe, not aggressive, right? Now, if your liquidation level is down over here under $30,000, a 50% drawdown on Bitcoin, I spoke about twice where the model has broken. Could it break again? Yeah. Are we seeing any signs of anything in the system that is showing that we are headed towards a crisis right now? Absolutely not. If the model is going to break to the upside during this bull market run, it looks like the model is going to break to the upside, not to the downside. Nevertheless, a $30,000, does that seem like a pretty safe liquidation level under there right now? It does to me. But if we were to come in and lose $38,000, at that point, I would be lightening up my position. Something's not right. You want to be prepared, and you want to be lowering that liquidation level, giving yourself plenty of room. The idea is never to get liquidated during the bull market phase. All right, where does that take us? Yeah, I would reconsider using Kraken if I was using Kraken, right? Why wouldn't you? It's not the first time that happened on Kraken. It happened a couple of years ago on Bitcoin, Canadian dollar. I gave it some leeway. Oh, well, it's an exotic. Now it just happened across the board. Happened on Ethereum, US dollar. Terrible. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let me pause for a second. Let me pause for a second and show you this. We'll get into that in a minute and show you this. Let's have some fun for a second. This is, take this in over here. This is, do you remember Wall Street Bets a few weeks ago as shots were fired? We understand the system's rigged. We're coming for it. We're changing the playing field. We're going to play from now on a decentralized playing field. Yeah, it's not built yet. But guess what? We're building it, right? We're building it. And you know what? Whether it's 4 years from now, whether it's 7 years from now, that's where the battle's going to be won. We're taking it there. Watch this video. If you are understanding what's taking place today, this video is going to be very special for you.
Their spirits were sunken and low. Their bags weighed more than a ton. There was neither sign nor show when the bull began his run. Their shields were shilling wall to wall. The gig was up, they had their fun, and every short got to margin call when the bull began his run. The candle's green came fast and tall. Each wick was bold, quick to stun. His eyes burned red, and his horns did more when the bull began his run. Now fortune smiles upon the need. His bags of gold gleam in the sun. The outer stream of his balance sheet, and every bear is left with none. Since the bull began his run.
And that's why we're doing what we're doing here. That's why, if you want to make a difference in the world, you have to get behind a fair and just system. A fair and just public ledger, right? Did you see Yellen? I'm opposed. Ron Paul, big shout out to Ron Paul. Smash the like button for the guy, Dr. Ron Paul. Audit the Fed legislation before the House to try to get the government to audit the Fed. Of course it wouldn't pass. Janet Yellen, I'm opposed to you auditing the Fed. Yeah, of course. We're not going to take any red pills this morning. But by the way, if you have some free time today and you want to change your life, watch the Money Masters. Understand money. Understand how. Watch Money is Debt. After you watch the Money Masters, watch the video Money is Debt. Understand how money's created, who controls it. Anyway, I love that video. That's from Plan B's channel over there. I don't know if he's the creator or not. It has that deep voice like him. I don't know. Maybe it's the American Indian that loves the whole just mood of that video. But I do love it. Wanted to share it with you because it is important. It is important. And as Bitcoin is over here, consolidating above our trendline support, below this light trendline resistance over here, getting ready for the bull to run again. It will be a matter of time, and it won't be too long before the bull is running again. We're not looking at another 6-month period over here of consolidation during the bull market phase. We're looking more like the second run over here, which was much more consistent. If I had the video, the chart up, I would show, here it is, the all-time high. Do you see that double wave? The double wave, the consolidation. We're mirroring more of this over here. And we got a lot more all-time highs to make as we get going. By the way, we are getting close. We are getting closer over here to where we're going to know, where I believe we're going to know where the bear market low is going to be. Why that's important. We know, by the way, Jordan, we know the bear market's coming in this period. Over here, approximately 15 months to the next halving. How do I know that? I know that from the pretty colors. This is how I was able to distinguish that. You see this over here, the dark green dot, 15 months to the next halving, dark green dot, dark green dot. That's where we bottom out. That's the accumulation zone to get back in. Now follow me over to the left. Many of you are aware of this. I've shared with you before, but from the dark green dot, the bottom of the bear market low, follow me over. And you see this nice orange dot, bear market low, nice orange dot. Look at this red dot turning orange. We're getting there. It should be somewhere around the end of March, beginning of April. We're approximately another 5-6 weeks away, right? We're going to be saying what price is trading at now, I believe, is going to be the coming bear market low. That's super valuable information. Now, I haven't done the math. I don't know. I haven't done the math myself. I would like to do it, or if someone could do it right now and let me know in the comments, that would be super helpful. I would like to know from over here, the bear market low. I know this is an 85% drawdown from the peak to the low. I know this is an 84% drawdown from the peak to the low. I am not one of those people who are saying, oh, it's Bitcoin's becoming more like a commodity cycle and we're going to see a 60% drawdown, I believe 50-60% drawdown during this coming bear market. No, I think we're going to see an 80-85% drawdown. Bitcoin is Bitcoin. 4-year cycle. Massive speculation caused by the halving of the miner's reward set in force, ending in euphoria, causing it's a market. It's a market. A market is a market. Human behavior, psychology, playing out over and over again. I have someone extraordinary close in my life, right? I remember 2016 going out to dinner with him and his wife and telling them that blockchain technology is going to change the world. I was referring to Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is what invented blockchain technology. It's the only decentralized blockchain in the world, right? The largest hash power behind it. He's telling me yesterday, and by the way, thank God, with what's happened over the past year with COVID, people losing jobs and work, well positioned into Bitcoin, and now seeing the fruits of that. And then all of a sudden people are telling him, no, you got to get into blockchain. You got to get into blockchain. And I'm like, no, Bitcoin is blockchain. What are you doing? You're already positioned. Oh yeah, the speculation is beginning. And all of a sudden everyone's an expert. Watch out what's going to happen over here. The euphoria is going to kick in. And Bitcoin at $50,000 is not even close to euphoria. It is going to happen. I see signs of it. Watch what happens over the next several months. It's going to be epic. We're going to be laser focused and we're going to be able to take advantage of what's going on. Yeah, right. Okay. Right. Yeah. Big shout out to all the cyberpunks who led the way. Big shout out to all the cyberpunks who led the way and led up to every possibility for Bitcoin to happen. But we all know the story, and that's ridiculous, right? Who solved the Byzantine problem? All right. So anyway, I'm not gonna go into there. Either you know or you don't know. But if you're playing games like that, you're just playing games. I'm focused on signal, not noise. I know the deal, and I know you know that I know the deal. All right. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else do we have to share with you? I would like to know, by the way, when we find out what that low is it 70,000? I don't know. Is it 50,000? I don't think so. Whatever that low is, when I say, all right, I think this is the area we're going to be in the low, I would like to be able to give a projection of what the peak is, right? So I guess I have to go back. I have to find out what type of gain it was off the low to the high. I know it's a 85% drawdown here, 84% drawdown over here. And I would like to be able to come up with a number because that will be just another piece of the puzzle we have to put together as we get towards that area, right? And that's what we do. It's layering edge upon edge upon edge. All right. What else do we got over here? Before we talk about oil, Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff, listen, the guy is right. You got to listen to what he's saying over here. Silver is ready to soar, right? Right now, it's being restrained by weakness in gold. But gold is only weak because traders don't understand the bond yields are rising due to inflation, not growth. This is important what he's saying over here. You got to listen to the guy when the guy is putting out information that's super important. And he's saying over here, what he's saying is truth. When they figure out the pressure will come off gold and silver will go ballistic. This is what we've been outlining over here for not only weeks, but months. But Peter's articulating it absolutely beautifully over here. I'm going to go ahead and like a Peter Schiff tweet, adding value to the conversation over here. The guy could be a gem. The guy could be a gem if he wasn't deranged. Bitcoin derangement system is absolutely real. This is what's happening over here. And I hope this takes a while for the market to figure out. By the way, it doesn't matter what traders don't understand. What the market is pricing in is correct. What the market is pricing in is correct. Now, are you able to get into a trade preemptively because people yet don't yes. But at the end of the day, whatever the market is showing is what the market is showing. Look, I hope it takes a while for the market to figure out what's correct. I hope it's not until I exit Bitcoin and can position myself into gold. And even though I understand silver is going to explode higher, I go for the sure shot. A little shout out to the Beastie Boys, sure shot. I go for the sure shot. I don't go for the high speculation. You know, I'm here to perform works that are going to eventually be enormous forms of works of mercy, right? I have to make sure that I'm right. I don't have the liberty to be on the wrong side of the trade. I got to get it right, and that's what we do over here. What else are we looking at? Let's keep going over here. This was shared. I don't share normally any post from our Discord group. This one I had to share with you all because it's so epically important over here. This was shared by Eric. Eric, if you're here, big shout out to you. Well done. Well done. And you can see over here, this is oil. You can see this massive wedge pattern. You can see this massive wedge pattern that's developing over here. And we're getting ready for this trend line break. This is on the weekly chart going back to 2008. Here's a better view of it, actually. Here's a better view for us to focus on. And you can see this massive trend line. This chart changed my view. The chart changed my view. And when I say change my view, let's go back and look at the charts over here, right? So my view has been oil's going sideways, stop trading oil, right? That was back in June 2020. Kept everyone out of oil for months and got them into where it mattered most, kept them out of a sideways market. I took 3 or 4 trades in this area with you all on the live streams, right? And then once oil broke out of this channel over here, once oil broke out of this channel, I said, all right, breakout, retest, resumption, conquering the markets all day long. I put in some targets over there. I put in a target first. I don't remember, to be honest. But my ultimate target was right over here at 59. Once we achieved that, I said, all right, now we're into some pretty heavy resistance. I'm off it until we broke out above. Once we broke out above that target right there, I said, all right, that opens up the upside once again. Boom, retest, resumption. Are you stopped out here? I don't know. Maybe if you, or is your stop loss below the last swing low. Smart trading. In the Conquering the Markets training sessions, we have the video on how to manage your trades. It was one of the first training sessions we ever did. If you're on the Conquering the Markets recommended playlist, right? It's one of the first 3 or 4 videos, how to manage a trade, where to put your stop losses. We're going to have soon, thank you, Tom, for all your work. Tom has gone ahead and actually reviewed every training session we've ever done. He's clipped everything to your category. If you want to know how to manage a trade, you watch these videos. If you want to know where to place your stop loss, you watch these videos. If you want to know how to set your position size, you watch these videos. I'm working with Brad. We're trying to get it up into our portfolio on the website so people can easily search and click through those. We're lagging a little bit. It will be up soon or soon enough, but that's in the works. Either which way, that was back into the trade, and I was just following this. This is what I'm following. This adds a lot of fresh perspective to that trade over here. This says to me on this breakout over here, and by the way, you don't buy into the resistance. Oh, I see the trade. It makes sense, right? First of all, this is where was our last entry possibility right over here around $60, right? That or the one over here at $58. You don't just buy here at $60 to $62 chasing price. Giving this perspective though, giving this perspective over here, you wait for the breakout if you're not involved in the trade and you want to get into trade, and then you don't play the breakout. Only on crypto do you take breakouts. You wait for the retest. And there will be a consolidation, right? Maybe it runs. Maybe it runs. There's going to be a pullback. There's going to be a consolidation. That's what you're looking for, the retest, resumption off. That's the trade. Are we targeting $100? Are we targeting above that, 120? We'll see. There's a lot of money slushing around the system, and it's got to go somewhere. Where have you heard this before? I've been talking about, remember over here, so many people in this room, right? Big shout out, my brother Kips. We're bearish on oil. And I was like, what are you talking about? Oil's a commodity. Oil's the money's got to go somewhere. Oil's going up, right? And here we are. Same trade. By the way, big shout out to Uncle Warren Buffett. He got himself involved in all these oil companies once again, and early, right on time. Got You got to give credit where credit's due, and always and generously. Well done. Look at this today on Conquering the Markets. Peter Schiff getting a shout out and Warren Buffett. There it is. This is a fast. I was going to say this is something that I'm going to find fascinating. This is such a fascinating discussion. I don't know. Maybe the mind is that quick, and I was able to read that without even knowing that. That's funny. I'm looking forward to watching this interview with Marty Bent. Marty Bent from Tales from the Crypt. You've heard me talk about often the Tales from the Crypt podcast. I've said if you want to watch the weekly recap video where Marty and Matt Odell sit down over some whiskey and talk about Bitcoin. It could be a little technical at times. It's not as technical as the I forget his name out of Australia. I'll remember it later. Big shout out. Super technical stuff. But these guys and Matt is just absolute fire when it comes to security. Really, if you want to learn about security, this is where you do it. The podcasts come out on Thursday. I watch them. I listen to them when I listen to them on Fridays. In the past, I've listened to many episodes. Right. Big shout out to them. And Marty is one of the first I've known to talk about taking all of the burn off from all these fracking that goes on from all of the oil fields. They have this burn off gas, right? And it's just emitting all these terrible things into the atmosphere. They are able to capture it now and use that gas to mine Bitcoin. He is an energy expert. I would like to know and understand more about it, just so I'm able to have a conversation with someone about it, right? I'm looking forward to this podcast. If that's something that interests you, watch this one. And this was also, I read this over the weekend. It was brought up today by Gene in the Discord. This is if you want to have a further understanding of what's going on with the steepening yield curve and different scenarios, right? You always see me talking about not what's going to happen, but what happens if this happens, what happens if that happens, so you're prepared. Lynn gives a great, there you go, Gene. Gene was the one who brought this up today. Thank you, Gene, for making this available to everyone. Great article talking about the different scenarios that could play out this next year and ultimately what could happen, including leading to the Fed capping yield controls. It's worth a read. It's excellent, and you have to keep up with the macro. You can't understand Bitcoin if you don't understand the markets. You can't do it. Right? So you have to understand the bigger picture. You have to put it all together, and it starts slowly. You can't expect it to happen in one day. It's a question of starting this moment today with this conversation we're having right now, and then slowly as time goes by, all of a sudden, your knowledge base just keeps increasing and growing until one day, all of a sudden, you're Neo, and all of a sudden, you see the Matrix. And that's where we're at today. Typo. We got a Bitcoin shortage at $64,000. Maybe, I don't know. Is that a real thing we're going to see in Bitcoin 2021 bull run, a shortage of Bitcoin? Fascinating. Back to Preston. If you watched the interview with Michael Saylor last week on Preston's podcast, the Investors Podcast, good conversations taking place. I enjoyed the conversation with Preston on the the Orange Pill podcast with Max and Stacy. That was a great one. And Michael's talking about the fact that, listen, every time money goes into Grayscale Bitcoin, GBTC, and they purchase more Bitcoin, that Bitcoin's never being sold. It's not within their business plan. They don't have a plan. It's never going to be sold. Is there going to be a shortage of Bitcoin? Is it taking place right now? What's going to happen in the next bull run 4 years from now, at this point, at this exact moment in time, 4 years from now, at that point, have the institutions and corporations, is there going to be a real severe shortage of Bitcoin? Is that when we overtake the market cap of gold? Is that when Bitcoin is making itself known? And then is that when we enter into hyper Bitcoinization, aka super cycle? Maybe. I give that odds of that happening much more. They're much greater than they are today. We'll see what happens. It's an ongoing situation, and that's why we stay in the flow. By the way, let's go back to this trade over here. This is the gold Bitcoin trade, what I consider to be one of the easiest trades all year, right? Remember, every time Bitcoin is having that pullback, that's the time to step in over here and look at what's going on over here, right? This is over here. Bitcoin 24% pullback. Well, it's not gold. This is not the environment where we're expecting gold to go on a run. Okay, This is not the environment at all we're expecting. And look at gold continue to be under pressure, as Peter Schiff just said. But it's super bullish. It's uber bullish. And this consolidation that's taking place right now, and by the way, it could end with a little bit of a spike down. It will be temporary. If we end in a capitulation to the downside, it'll take out a lot of weak hands. It'll get a lot of leveraged people out of the trade. That will be like gold. That will be gold on gold, and that's going to be the end. And then eventually it's breaking out of this, and it's breaking out to the upside, right? And when that happens, gold's going to go on a run. Now silver is really going to be running at that point. Silver's doesn't have that same. You can see silver's already broke out of that consolidation down here. It broke out. It's retested. It's resuming up. And now it's above the 20s. I mean, bullish. Way more bullish than gold. I expect silver, and this is not new. I said this back to you way back in I don't remember exactly when it was. It wasn't as the Fed acted. It was shortly after. It was probably around this time. I said to you that silver is going to continue to outperform gold under this current monetary environment. You should be able to see it now. I used the gold to silver ratio. I showed you back what happened in 2008 when the Fed started QE, right? And it's unfolding right now. And Peter's right. Peter, great tweet this morning. Peter's right. As soon as gold does break out, and could it happen? It could happen any day, right? I'm not trying to tell you that gold is going to break down. I'm saying if it does, if we have a bit of capitulation, that's the signal. I'm going to call it. That's going to start the breakout over here. Gold is eventually going to break out over here. Gold is going to take out the 2020 high. Where it goes and ends up on the year, I don't know. It's not going to be as high as silver on a comparable basis, and it's going to be nowhere in comparison to what Bitcoin does, right? Bitcoin's eating the world during its bull market phase. Nevertheless, I don't even know. That's a tangent. But we're so close to 1,000 likes. We're so close to 1,000 likes. Yeah. All right. Copper. I kind of stay away from. We talked about copper a lot on this channel when it was worth talking about. Let's go back over here. Let's go where I can't even find it. Why can't I even find it? There we go. I talked about copper a lot on this channel, right? As it was taking out the $3 level. That's when I was really bringing everyone's attention to it. That's when we were dialed in and focusing on what was happening over here, right? Yeah, and since then, yeah, it's up 25% now or more. It's up more than that. I'm sorry, it's not up since $3. It's up, yeah, 43%, and that's fine and that's good. But go back to like the easy trade, right? Go back to when I was pointing that out to you over here. That's 44%, and that's doing it in 6 weeks. Yeah. So is copper attractive? Are commodities attractive? Are coffee futures attractive? Soybeans? Come on. No, they're not. Yeah, we understand we're in an inflationary environment, right? By the way, someone's pointed out on the YouTube last night on the comments that, listen, Jordan's been on signal for about a year now that what happened back in last March was inflationary, longer than anyone else, right? Yeah, we understand what's taking place, but we also understand where we want to focus our attention, right? And when I talk about Bitcoin being the only trade that matters, that's the truth. Is that to say that Ethereum's not important right now? No, I've been super supportive of Ethereum, what's taking place across the space, not just in Ethereum, all altcoin. This is alt season. I want alts to run. I think they're going to be massively, they're going to be... So the person I was speaking to last night was like telling me about blockchain, and I'm like, no, Bitcoin is blockchain. She's telling me about Genesis. Did you hear about Genesis? No, I never heard of the Genesis block. What are you talking about? It's all about Bitcoin. Are we going to see massively successful projects in the space? Yes, and I hope so, and I hope there are many, and I hope that they solve important solutions. Right? Is this like similar to the .com boom and bust? And then afterwards, it led to giants like Amazon and Facebook. Yes. Will it be Ethereum? Will it be Cardano? Will it be Aave? Will it be Uniswap? Will it be DOT, Chainlink? I don't know, right? But I know DeFi is the future. And whether or not eventually all of this will eventually be built on top of Bitcoin, and you want to get all maxi on me, or I don't really care. What's happening right now across the space is beautiful. I root for crypto across, unless it's something that I have to warn you about, unless it's something that's happening that shouldn't be taking place, and I tell you, hey, be careful. Be careful. Know what you're investing in. Know that the company Ripple is selling XRP to you to fund. That's their business model. Be careful about it. All right? Who's been stronger on signal across the board? Big shout out to those. And I'm, anyway, I won't even go there. But some people were shilling XRP all across the internet, right? Big shout out, Raul. I haven't taken the time to understand it. It's good. And by the way, do you remember over here, Conquering the Markets, when I said, oh, that might be a good place to start leaning in and buying XRP, even though what's going on with the S&C, and look at that. But is that where you want to be involved? Not me. I'll run all day long. What do we got? We have 1,100 likes. That's right. This is gold right here. Bitcoin is the foundation. Bitcoin is the rising tide that lifts all boats. The only reason Ethereum is pumping right now is because Bitcoin's in its bull market phase, ignited by the halving event. That allows the other to exist. It absorbs the best tech to develop. What was the rest of that quote? On other chains. This is gold right here, Gene. Thank you. That's gold. No, that's noise. It's a good question. It's a good question, right? Jordan, do you read that Bitcoin sometimes falls when the DXY falls on smaller time frames? That's noise. I'm not concerned. It's just noise. If we enter into any type of liquidity crisis in the future, the dollar milkshake's real. It's going to happen again, 2023. It's going to happen again. And when it happens, right? And once we enter a crisis, Bitcoin's going to get obliterated again. It was off 60% last time. What will be off 60% again? I don't know. By the way, FYI, and understand this is important. In the last crisis, the pre-crisis 2008, right? Gold was off 30%. Gold was off 30% during that crisis. This crisis, gold was off 15%. Gold, so in the next crisis, will Bitcoin be off less as the market cap continues to grow? The adoption continues to grow? Maybe. Nevertheless, if you want a good trade next crisis, and just imprint this on your mind. The only reason I'm sharing this with you right now is so that it's imprinted in mind, because as things are happening, don't freeze like a deer in headlights. You just got to go off of you got to program yourself so that you just act. You don't think, right? So Bitcoin US dollar, gold Bitcoin during the crisis, absolute money trade. Absolute money trade. Make sure you get long gold versus Bitcoin, because and there it's playing out over here. Look at that. If you go back and you look at gold versus silver, hold on. This is another money trade. Gold versus silver at the same exact time. This is the crisis. Look at gold. Yeah, gold was coming off 15% for the dollar, but gold was destroying silver. It's not the first time it happened. It happened back in 2008. Come back into 2008 with me. By the way, they don't teach this stuff in school. They don't teach this stuff in school. You're not going to find it in a textbook. You're not going to find it in a professor giving you a lecture. You find it here on Conquering the Markets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. You can see that happening over here during the crisis over here. Again, gold eating silver. But once QE starts, that was in December 2008. December 2008 right here. Once QE starts, at that point, you're going to see silver outperform gold. Look at that. And now, again, that's why I told you this crisis, because I'm always learning. I'm a student of the markets. Right over here, this crisis, I told you as this happened, all right, we're going to expect silver now to greatly outperform gold. Why did I know that? I knew what happened the last crisis. I knew what happened the last time QE started. And there we are, and it's still early. That's a mouthful, huh? That's a mouthful. What else are we looking at today? This morning, I was worried I wasn't going to have anything to say. Could you imagine that? I was preparing for our show, and I was like, wow, man, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Bitcoin is kind of consolidating, going nowhere. It's on autopilot right now. Everyone knows exactly what's going on, right? What am I going to talk about with everyone? What a beautiful time together. What a beautiful show. There's a lot going on in FX, I feel, and I feel like I want to get involved in it. Let's take a look across there really quick. Cardano, I didn't give enough of a shout out, perhaps, too. Jordan, could you please define lightly leveraged? Do you think it's too? No, I think it's very early, Jay. Look, Jay, I'm going to answer this question for real. Because if Jay's asking it, other people right now that are just joining us, let me take 2 minutes to really talk about this. It's an important question. And if someone's asking a question, other people have that same question. Jay's asking, could I define lightly leveraged, right? Do you think it's too late to add leverage to my position on a 30% pullback? Or should I wait 15 months to the next halving? All good questions, Jay. It shows you're paying attention. It shows you have great awareness. Couple of things to say. The first thing is definitely, Jay, it sounds like you've watched the video on the Bitcoin playlist, 3 ways to trade the bull market phase of Bitcoin. Strategy number 2, adding on 30% pullbacks. If you're trading Bitcoin with leverage, it's your safest place, but you have to understand where your liquidation level is. I was talking about liquidation levels with you and levels today. If you have not seen it, yeah, it's behind a paywall. The paywall is 0, right? What's the paywall? The Conquering the Markets course training program, jumping into the community, our weekly training sessions, every single past training session that we've ever recorded. It's a wealth of information. If you're not involved in it and you're interested in trading and you're watching this now, look, you don't find information like this available, right? We made it accessible to everyone, but if it's free, maybe some people don't really give it the value that it deserves. Right? You have to watch the video, Bitcoin Lightly Leveraged. You have to watch the video if you're in, and it's experts only. So if you want to be an expert, you need to dig deeper in. It's essential. You have to start there. Jay, it's not too late. It's early. We're still early. We're trading at Bitcoin $50,000 as people are telling me to buy the Genesis blockchain. We're trading at Bitcoin $50,000. That the gains, the epic gains, the vertical move, has the euphoria is not even getting started. That's going to take place here during this build. You're still very early. And when I say early, we're still trading, I believe, under where we're going to be trading at the bear market low. But you got to do it smart. There's no rush. The market's always going to be there. This bull run is just getting going. We showed about the amount of all-time highs we're going to put in over here. We're still way lagging. This thing is gonna be roaring, but you got to do it smart. That means you got to don't do anything. Do not take a position today. Do not take a position tomorrow. Do your work and do your research today. That's the best place I know of to start. All right. Let's see. I think I might do an FX video. Here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna call this a session. I have a special thing going on with my 3-year-old this morning. I'm gonna spend some quality time doing that with her, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put together a FX video. Whether or not I upload it to the channel or someone just gave me a thumbs down for doing something special with my 3-year-old. If you saw that, could you smash the like button, show some love over here? And then whether or not I just share it on the Discord or share it on the public channel, we'll see after it's developed. But that's where we're at right now, everyone. Just another question over here. Jordan, new to your channel and subbed. Wish to know your opinion if I should draw out Ethereum. No, I think Ethereum's a great trade. I've said during the bear market that or going into the bull market, I told you when the alt season was going to start, approximately 6 months after the Bitcoin halving. I did my research. I knew well ahead of time. And I said that Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin. And I still expect Ethereum to outperform Bitcoin. That being said, does it make sense to be involved in Ethereum for me over Bitcoin lightly leveraged? Absolutely not. It's not a better trade any way that you do the math and look at it. It's not a better trade. If someone's invested in Ethereum, you got yourself into that great trade. Well, that seems like a great trade to me. Understand Bitcoin is proven technology. Understand Ethereum is highly speculative. But do understand in alt season, it's all about speculation. It doesn't have to make any sense. It's just market speculation. So if you understand market speculation and you're speculating, go get yours. By the way, great book. If you haven't read Reminiscence of a Stock Operator Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, the story of Jesse Livermore. Read that book. Watch the audiobook. I've listened to it throughout my 20 plus year career multiple times. I've read it and listened to it multiple times. It's one of the best books I ever read. Highly recommend it. Lots of homework over there. What else are we looking at? Thank you, Gene. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Giles. All right, everyone. Let's play some music. Have a beautiful day. May God bless you. And thank you for being such a blessing in my life. Thank you for the positive attitudes that uplift me, that make me a better person, that continues to inspire me to want to do great things. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. Debt is money. The other video besides Money Masters, then you have to watch Debt is Money. It's like the graphics are absolutely treasures, but watch the video. It's absolute gold. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. There was a question I saw that I wanted to thank you so much, Ryan. There was a question that I wanted to answer. I don't know. I lost it. Anyway, that's all good. Right over here. Roy, it was a fire session, and it was a short and powerful one. Go back and start from the beginning and watch it. Time well spent, and my time was well spent with all of you. Thank you so much. I will talk to you later. Have a beautiful day.